a brand new week. It is actually Tuesday, so I don't know. Feels like a brand new week to me because I got home on Sunday night and then yesterday was kind of like a recovery day. Today is election day, which is crazy. Today's topic is all about building habits. And so this week I'm going to be trying to set in place some new habits to keep me on track for my goals. Daisy's coming in. Hi, Daisy. I read actually quite a few books about building habits a couple of years ago. One of those books was called Teeny Habits. Another one was Atomic Habits. I think I read a few other ones, which I'm sure I'll bring up throughout this video. But I wanted to specifically talk about Atomic Habits because I think that's the starting place for this week. Atomic Habits is by James Clear, and he talked about the 2-minute rule. It basically is starting with anything that can take you 2 minutes to complete and then building off of that. Because I think a lot of the reasons why we don't actually tackle our goals is because we're resistant to doing anything that we actually have to do. At least that's for me how it is. But with making it easy to tackle very small goals at a time, it makes you less resistant to do it because you know, okay, it's only gonna take me 2 minutes. Let me just get this done. And then over time, it makes it easier to stick. Okay, a really simple example of this is basically if you want to read more, instead of saying, okay, I'm gonna sit down for 10 minutes, I'm gonna read 20 pages, just read a page. So it's not necessarily something like you have to stick to like 2 minutes, but it's basically dumbing down any habit that you want to build and making it as easy as possible to do. I think something for me is that I resist because I feel like I look at the bigger picture so much more than I look at like the tiny steps that it takes to get there. So for me, starting with the smallest task of whatever it is I have to do, I am going to write down all of the things I have to do for the week and for my bigger goals, and then kind of dumb them down and see what I can do to break them up throughout. Like, let's say the goal is for over a year. How can I break that down into month and then week and then day goals? So I'm only looking at the day goals. So that's something I'm gonna work on today, is kind of figuring out what it is that I want and then breaking it all down. And I will show you when I'm done with that.
Crazy boy, come here. Come here, come here. Come on, this way. Come on. Don't ask why we have this ice out here.
A habit that I've been trying to get into is spending more time outside because I feel like it's so good to be outside in nature. And obviously the puppy, he's just staring at me right now. Obviously the puppy definitely helps get me like moving, one, and outside, so it's nice. We just went on a walk and now we're like hanging out in the backyard. We have to watch him though because he will eat literally anything and everything, and our backyard, as you can tell, has a thing of ice. I don't know, we have a lot of junk back here. Our house is not done at all, but this, like, the backyard is the worst, so we just kind of have to watch him. The grass is dead. The concrete is really strange. We bought an old house. It just is what it is. And we focused a lot on the inside. Also, me wearing this sweatshirt is not helping my, like on election day, this is actually horrible.
I can cut a lot of this with the shears. Maybe you can help me too.
Yeah. This is not saying who I voted for, okay?
How you feeling? You like your boots? Yeah.
Okay, so this took me a few hours, but I finally finished my little chart that I was making that I talked about earlier today. So if you saw my first video on this channel, I showed you that I basically created a weekly checklist that I try to stick to. It is my personal brand, and it's all the things that I need to do in a week. And then during the week, I pick and choose what I want to do daily. And I also made an aesthetic sort of mood board that I showed you. So I'm just gonna remind you of my mood board because I think I kept this in mind when I was creating this checklist, or it's a table, you'll see. Okay, so here is the mood board. It's just an aesthetic. It's something that I want to keep in the back of my mind whenever I create content, whatever I do. So this is the mood board. Probably not gonna be able to see this, but I wrote out everything that I do like on a weekly basis. And then here is the table that I created. I wrote who I wanted to be, and I basically wrote some like bullet points of who I want to be: strong, independent, inspiring, adaptable to life's circumstances, just sort of things to keep at the top of my mind. And then here is how I did this. The goal, here's the goal, the year, the month, the week, and the day. And then so like here it says 6-pack. And then it says for the year, I need to finish the home gym, and I need to make sure that I'm constantly working out, a consistent workout plan. The next is breaking it down into the month. What can I do monthly to make sure that this happens, that makes sure that this happens? So make one big adjustment to the home gym every single month. So basically the first step is we need to clean it up, then we need to make the improvements, then we need to make sure we have all the equipment that we need. So every month I'll be focusing on like one aspect of that, and start off obviously it'd be like clean up the space. So that's the week, and then that's the month, and then the week is, I feel like you're not gonna be able to like see all this, but basically for the week it says 3 heavy workouts per week, 1 outside workout, and I said with Daisy because she would definitely do that with me, like a hike, stairs, or yard work. And then on a daily basis, something that I can do is just make sure that I'm doing some sort of movement every day, and then also taking the dog for walks 2 times a day. So that's like little baby steps that I can do, and then I can work my way up throughout the checklist. And then I also have other goals here. So a financial goal, I have social media goals, another financial goal, and then a work-life balance, personal relationship type goal here. And then I broke it all down. So yeah, I went big with this. I wanted to make sure that I'm thinking, wait, let me flip this around. I wanted to make sure that I went above and beyond, because like I mentioned, that book, the 10X Rule by Grant Cardone, he really emphasizes like, don't make your goals what you actually want them to be. Make them bigger than how you can even imagine, because you don't know what you're capable of until you actually do it. And so I want to make sure that I'm not limiting myself. I went in between. I went like very, very big, bigger than I think I could achieve, which is really bad thinking. Like, you should be able to think that you can achieve anything, because you absolutely can. But I went bigger than I thought I could achieve this year. But I know I can achieve even more. So I did want to do something that I felt like was somewhat achievable, because I think when you achieve small goals over and over again, you're more likely to keep going, because positive like reinforcement keeps you motivated to keep going. So when you achieve something small, you're like, wow, I can do something even bigger. I can do something even more. And so I wanted to keep it like that. And I think this breakdown also really helps with that, because on a daily basis, what I wrote down is things that I can absolutely do, and I think will help me build bigger habits towards those bigger goals. So that's what I've started today. I'm feeling really excited about it. I'm in such a good mood today. And yeah, now I can start putting these things into action, which I'm going to start with emails, because I want to stay on top of my emails, and I just haven't been doing that. So we're going to start with that. And Daisy's in the other room watching like the news right now, because like I said, it's election day. So after I'm done with my emails, I'll probably call it quits for work today and focus on that. Okay, well, that is not what I was hoping to wake up to. I mean, I kind of expected it last night. But here we are. Okay, I just took Raisin on a little walk. He is freaking exhausted now, aren't you? Are you exhausted now? Now he's just laying on the floor. I took him on a long walk/run, and I was wearing my Crocs, so I don't even know how I was running. And I took a shower in my new shower. I have to show you. So as you know, we were redoing the whole house, and the last thing on the inside really was my shower because my bathroom was done, but the glass doors were custom ordered because it's so small. It's honestly so small. So we had to get something smaller than what they sold in stores. So it took a really long time, but now here it is, my shower. And so I showered in it. That's why it's like all wet right now. And I freaking love it. It was actually enough room for me. It kind of looks bigger in the camera, but it's so tiny. But I loved it. It was great for me. Perfect for one person. And today, oh God, it is 9:30 a.m. I got up earlier than I typically do. I think I woke up actually at 7, and then I got out of bed at like 8 or something like that. I feel really accomplished with everything that I worked on yesterday. I got done so many of my emails last night while we were watching the news. We were just sitting there watching the news, and I like was half listening, half like doing my emails. So I answered like 300 emails last night. And then today I should probably shoot content. So eventually I'll get ready, but I think I'm gonna start by making some breakfast and having some coffee. I'm so tired. I never wake up at 7. I like to like sleep until like 9. I'm such a baby. I like need sleep. I was just talking about this with one of my friends, and we were just talking about how funny it is that like as you get older, you just like love sleep so much. I like loved it as a teenager as well, and then I didn't really care to sleep in my early 20s. And now all I want is sleep. But yeah, I'm gonna make some coffee and maybe that'll wake me up, and then we'll see what the day holds. I have another tip for today as far as building habits. I read this in my book, Teeny Habits, I believe, and it was basically pairing any of the habits that you have with the new habits that you want to create. A good one would be like in the morning, like say you really want to start giving yourself positive talk and like train your brain to think positively, but you don't remember to do it every day. You're just going about your day and you're like, oh shoot, I should probably self-talk, you know. In the morning, we all brush our teeth, I would assume. So pairing that with a task that you already do, like brushing your teeth, okay, that's when I'm gonna give myself that mental talk, and I'm gonna put a sticky note on my mirror so that I'm reminded every single morning to pair those two together. And then you start to create a habit out of it because you pair them together. Another example that I like to use is when I'm sitting on the toilet, I always scroll on my phone. So try to use that sitting on the toilet as like a trigger for you to answer emails, because you can do that on your phone, or like whatever else that you have to do that you can do on your phone. That was like a really helpful tip from that book that has stuck with me ever since I read it. And I find it to be helpful when I'm trying to create new habits, because I think the trigger is what you really need to get yourself to do it. If you don't have that trigger, that reminder that's paired with something that you already do, you most of the time will put it to the side because you actually just forget about it. There's been so many times I've tried to create a new habit and I just forget to do it because I don't pair it with something and add a reminder to it. That's my little thoughts for right now. Okay, little unboxing while the coffee machine heats up. Last night I was in bed and I was dying to do my nails, but I was in bed and it was like midnight or 1 o'clock or something like that. So I ordered on Amazon to be delivered at 7 a.m. Amazon's crazy. Like that's crazy. You can get something, you can order something at 1 a.m. and get it at 7 a.m. in the morning. That's why when it was 7 a.m., I woke up because I remembered, I was like, oh, I probably have a package. I'm gonna look. I checked my phone, it was already delivered. That's crazy talk. So anyways, I got some stuff to do my nails because I have stuff. Obviously, I have a lot of stuff because I do my own nails a lot. But I didn't have what I wanted for the set that I wanted to do. What I want to do is a square French tip because I normally do almond shape. So I have a bunch of tips that are almond, but I don't have any that are square. And I could cut the almond ones, but then it's just like they have to be super short, and it kind of looks like it's coffin because it's already narrow. So I just wanted like a square French tip, like very classic 2005, you know? And then I also got like a bunch of nail colors because I feel like I needed new paint. I feel like my paint was getting kind of gross. Talking about building habits, I need to get in the habit of just keeping up to date with my nails rather than ripping them off and then doing them again, because it is fucking up my nails, to be honest. But as soon as they start to get like a little bit messed up, I, for some reason, just rip them off. Like I don't have the patience. That is super cool. Okay, I got this like jelly thing where you put the nail polish on it and then you stick the nail in, and it's supposed to make the perfect, oh my God. Cool. French tip. Because normally I draw it on, but I get so irritated. I don't have the patience. Raisin. I don't know where Daisy is, you guys. It's 10 o'clock. Oh, she just called me twice. That's fine. She left at like 7 or 6:30. Where are you?
I'm at the gas station. I just left Alfred with Chelsea.
Oh, you were having coffee. Okay, look at me, guys. I got ready. I got dressed. Well, not dressed. I'm still wearing the same clothes, but I got ready. I did my hair. I did my makeup. I didn't put on any foundation, so I'm probably looking a little pale, but I put on some concealer and then the rest of my makeup. I'm doing my emails right now. And I also just filmed a TikTok where I talked about prioritizing tasks. So I thought I would share that with you too. Here is something that I'm trying to implement as a new habit of mine as well, is prioritizing my tasks in a way that'll help me get things done, especially the tough things that I don't want to do, because it's hard to, make yourself do the things you got to do. Tips that I shared are: first things first, make a list at the beginning of every single week of all the things you need to do. And I already do that. And then prioritizing them into high priority, mid-range priority, and low priority tasks. And then each day of the week that you're working, choosing 1 or 2 things from each category and doing them in the order from highest to lowest priority, so that you're getting the most important stuff done early in the day. And my second part of this tip is kind of contradictory. If you have multiple kind of like low priority tasks, something that might take you like a minute or 2 to finish and complete, put one of those things up above the high priority task so that you can check that off at the start of your day, because checking off things off your checklist just make you feel like you've accomplished something. It kind of gives you that boost and that like those endorphins to keep you motivated throughout the day. So when you're checking things off, it just like feels good, and it's like you're rewarding yourself for doing whatever it is that you need to do. And then it will push you into the next task that you have to do. Talking about prioritizing, need Daisy to take some pictures of me now. Will you?
Yes, I can do it in 1 second.
Because that has been on my list all week, and it is Wednesday now. I'm gonna take some photos, then I'm gonna do my emails, then I'm gonna read, and I want to do it before the sun goes down. I feel like a lot of people read before bed, but by the time I'm ready to go to bed, my brain is completely shut off, so that just doesn't work for me. It is 2 o'clock, so I have a lot of hours still in the day. I think if I do like a little bit of shooting now, maybe half my emails, because I have quite a bit. I still have 162 emails. That's a lot. Maybe do half of those, then I can read. Who do we have here? Who do we have here? He wants to go on the walk. So we are watching our friend Lissa's dog, and he's actually so good, and Raisin is so bad. We've learned Raisin is the worst little boy. He has definitely only child syndrome, even though he has a brother. He's like taking all of Dax's toys, trying to sit wherever he's sitting, trying to eat all of his food. It's actually so bad.
He never even eats food like that.
Yeah, he doesn't even care about food.
He knows anything that's not his, he tries to shove it as quickly as possible.
He's so bad. Raisin, you're so bad. It's embarrassing. But Dax has been so good, and at least he's teaching him his ways, because he listens, like he's very on command.
Dax, come. Good. Raisin, come. Raisin, come. He's not even paying attention to me. Good boy. Sit. Good. Raisin, back the hell up. He does not want you doing that. Raisin. Oh my god. He said no. Raisin, back up. He said no. Good. Okay, that was good. Yeah, we're gonna go on a walk. We're gonna go on a walk. Daisy, what did you do?
I went to our daughter first. Sophie, can you get this one?
What the hell? You took me here on the wrong day.
And we're getting this cute mug. I love
Daisy
it.
brought us to the, what is this called? The vet on the wrong day. Friday, y'all. It is 1:30. Oh my god, I feel like we've done so much today. We brought Raisin to the vet. We played in the backyard. I worked. We just got back from a walk. I'm actually exhausted and it's 1:30. I'm so tired. Daisy said she's gonna make us smoothies, and then tonight we're going to dinner with a friend, and then we might go to like a event sort of thing. I'm just like so tired. I feel like I could probably take a nap. So talking about habits though, I have been very consistent with my walking. The dogs definitely help. And my posting and getting content. The dogs are staring at me. Luckily they can't come in here because I have like a doggy door thing right there. So this week, how has the habit building been going? So far, Daisy's peeing.
Sorry, hang on.
So far, honestly, pretty good. I feel like I've been able to be consistent even with the chaos of like watching another dog and having pets and having to do like certain routine things for them. I honestly kind of think that having that routine helps me build routine throughout other things because it's not something that I can choose to do. Like I have to do it. I have to take care of them. So it kind of like pushes me to be like, okay, I actually have to do blank, blank, blank instead of thinking like it's a choice. Honestly, that's been helping me a lot. And like I said, it's been motivating me to move my body more because I have to take them on walks. I have to take them outside. We have to play. So at least that part of forming habits I've been very consistent with. And then when it comes into work, it's kind of bleeding into that. The hardest part right now with work is having motivation mentally through like a part of work that feels very dull, I guess. Like I don't really have any like big projects. Like nothing's really different besides like rebuilding this channel, which is not fun. Like that is not fun. I don't like starting all the way over unless it's like something brand new. I feel like I really built my audience obviously on the other channel. And so having to restart and finding the motivation to like stick through that is very, very difficult. I'm still doing it. So the habits are being formed, but I think mentally right now is the challenge. But so far I've been very consistent, and something that's helped me too is using later.com. I have used that to post on Twitter. I also used it actually for Instagram and then also Pinterest because I started posting on Pinterest. So I've been using it for that. I haven't used it for TikTok or Instagram Reels yet, but I'm thinking that I'm going to because I think that'd be helpful once I've built up enough content to kind of schedule those things out, which I'm gonna focus on next week because obviously it's Friday today. So I'm not gonna do anything for that this week, but next week I'm gonna shoot a bunch of content that I can then go in and create stuff and schedule it out for Reels. Later has been really helpful for working on that. Okay, and then another part of this whole week that I think is super important to mention is to reward yourself. I sort of talked about it a little bit, but I find that whenever I have some sort of reward, I talked about like checking things off, and that is like a small boost of endorphins that I guess you can use as a reward. But I think having a bigger reward at the end of things really helps. Like for me, this is so small and kind of like ridiculous, but doing my nails or getting my nails done feels like a reward to me. So a lot of the times I'll wait to do my nails after I've done like a big project or I've like completed something, because I'll be like, okay, as soon as I finish this, then I'm getting my nails done, or I'm spending 2 hours and I'm doing my nails. It's such a relaxing time for me, whether I'm doing it or someone's doing it for me. But nails is a good reward for me. That's also inexpensive if I'm doing it at home, obviously. I don't think every reward needs to be like something huge. It can be like you get to take Friday off, or you can even do it where it's like a treat. Like at the end of the day, once I complete everything, I'm gonna have my cocktail, or I'm gonna have my little dessert, or I'm gonna, whatever it is. I think just having something to kind of look forward to at the end of any big or small project is like, it will do you wonders, I promise you. And I think honestly, I could be better at actually setting those rewards. So something I'm gonna do is actually go back into that document that I showed you earlier in the week and write out different rewards for the end of the week, or the end of the month, or the end of the year, if I accomplish, and not even accomplish. It's not like you have to actually accomplish something, but as long as you completed what you said you were gonna do. I'm gonna go in there today and just set my rewards, and some of them will be smaller, like throughout the week, but then maybe like a month one will be like a bigger reward. And then the year one, maybe an even bigger reward. We'll see. Okay, and now aside from rewards, just like I was talking about, like having that document that kind of, it doesn't track what I'm doing, but it's sort of in a way. I think tracking your progress is so helpful to see how far you've come. I read this in Peak Performance by Eric Severson. That book is really, really good. It is all about mindset tools for entrepreneurs. It talks about this. It talks about tracking everything that you do, your progress, your ups, your downs, so that you can see how far you've come, you can see what worked, you can see what didn't work, and you can look back at everything that you've done. I love to take screenshots of like my follower count, or how much I made, or how much I had in my bank account, honestly. Like those things help me be able to look back and be like, wow, like look at what I've actually done, look how far I've come. So I will take screenshots of like everything. Something that I could be better about is actually putting that into a document of some sort where I can visually see it all in one place, rather than going back into my phone and like scrolling to find, okay, how far really have I come in this year from like subscribers or whatever progress you're trying to track. But honestly, just throwing all of your screenshots into a document and like labeling the dates, super simple, super easy, great way to track your progress. Or if it's maybe like a workout progress, like tracking, maybe having a journal and tracking like your workouts, or the way, whatever you're eating, or your whatever, I don't know what your goals are, but just having somewhere where you can look back. Looking back for me really, really helps, because even when you're having a down, you'll look back and say, oh, this down is still so far above what I was doing a year ago. Okay, and then the last two topics to kind of touch on for this week is holding yourself accountable, and then also making things enjoyable. The Compound Effect by Darren Hardy wrote that he thinks it's really important to have a buddy, somebody that has a similar goal as you that can kind of hold you accountable. I don't always recommend this because I don't like to share all of my goals with somebody, but if you do have someone that you do share your goals with, or you have a common interest with, those are the people that I think it really is good to kind of hold each other accountable if you're both working on something. But there's also tons of other ways that you can hold yourself accountable. And I think using those rewards that we talked about is a great way to hold yourself accountable. Like, you cannot do X if you don't finish this. Like, you have to. If you don't get it done by this date, you don't get X reward. And that sort of holds me accountable when I need to get something done. But also having people that are relying on you is good. It depends what you're working on, though. That's the hardest part. But find someone you can rely on, someone that can hold you accountable, that has a similar goal, has similar interests. It could be friends, it could be a partner, and whatever it is that will remind you, like, hey, you promised yourself this, and I'm just reminding you. And then, like I said, the last real important part of this that is so hard sometimes is making your goals enjoyable. You want this, so how can you make it fun for you? How can you make it something that you want to do? Because it is what you want, right? And sometimes for some reason, what you want is challenging. It's hard. It's hard to get yourself motivated to do something when you're not seeing the progress right away, or you don't have a lot of time, or it takes a lot of effort. Sometimes making it enjoyable can be the last thing on your mind because you're trying to fit it in. But in the book, Teeny Habits by BJ Fogg, he talks a lot about how to make it enjoyable. And it goes back to one of the things that I said earlier in this video, where pairing things with other things that you do is great for building habits, but pairing your new habits or your new goals that you really want to stick to with something that is enjoyable is a great way to make things fun again. If you love to listen to music and you also have to get your content done, put the music on. If you have to do emails and you really hate emails, but you love going to a little coffee shop with a friend, maybe that's when you get your emails done. You have like once or twice a week, you meet up with a friend at a coffee shop and you both do your emails together. Make whatever it is you have to do a fun, enjoyable time and have fun with it. Like, this is what you want to do. You are working towards something that you want. So try and find ways to want to do it. Easier said than done, but pair the hard things, the hard tasks with fun things that you do enjoy. And that is this week. How crazy. I feel like this week went by kind of quickly. I hope this video was helpful if you are looking to figure out how to make habits stick or figure out how to put together a plan for your life. I feel like that was like kind of a focus for me, is how am I going to go about this next year or so, and what do I want to accomplish? It was kind of like breaking it all down, and then how can I make that easily digestible? So hopefully this was helpful. If it was, give it a thumbs up. Be sure you're subscribed and let me know what you want to see next. Like, what are you working on in your personal life, in your work life, in your relationship life, your friendships? Because I want to make videos about all of the above and really deep dive into each topic. And with that all being said, I'll see you in the next video. Bye.